Welcome to today's class. We are going to be focusing on relieving any tension through the lower backs or lower backs. So the poses we'll be going through will be holding a little bit longer, it'll be a bit more restorative, and I'll be hopefully giving you some helpful tips if you are one of those unlucky people who suffers from sore lower back. So for today's class you will be needing a bolster. I didn't have a bolster, so if you don't have one, don't worry too much. You can do a makeshift bolster. I've just rolled up a yoga mat and covered it in a blanket. Or you can roll up a towel, anything basically that's going to be this sort of shape. And then also a strap if you have one. I didn't have access this morning to a strap, so I'll be using a Pilates ring, but you can also use a belt, a long scarf. It all makes sense once we start, so it's all very home workout friendly. We're going to get started by lying down on our backs with our bolster, so just pop your strap to the side for now. And we're going to be tucking our bolster or our rolled up makeshift bolster under our knees, and then we'll lie down on our backs with that bolster under the knees. And then just trying to settle in here, letting everything melt down to the earth. Having something beneath our knees here does just help to be a little bit more supportive to the lower back. Should feel quite comfortable. If for some reason it's not comfortable for you, you can remove the bolster from under the knees as well. Just experiment a little here. And starting to bring your awareness to your breath. Perhaps thinking about deepening with every inhale breath, pulling the breath all the way down into your lower belly, and trying to lengthen your exhale breath, so making it a little bit longer with every cycle of breath. And then just feeling your way into your body today. Noticing any tension, where that tension is living in your body right now. And perhaps starting the practice of trying to breathe your breath into those areas of tension. So maybe for you that is your lower back area. And just remember here throughout today's practice and any other practice, you are going to be your greatest teacher. No one else is in your body but you. So starting to tap into what feels good in your body. Releasing any expectations you may have of what you should be doing, what something should feel like. And becoming really present with the sensations that arise. One more cycle of breath here. Really deep inhale, long exhale, perhaps pouring out of your mouth. And then just reaching down, removing that bolster from under your legs. Lying back down, just popping it a bit down to the side so that we are going to come into a supine twist here. We'll begin by squeezing both of our knees into our chest. Not a really harsh squeeze here, just a nice relaxed grip. Perhaps drawing little circles through the spine. And then once you feel ready, releasing your left leg down to your mat. Right leg stays into the chest. We'll open up our right arm and extend that right knee across the body.
this doesn't feel good, if it's already too much pressure through your lower back, you can pop a cushion, a bolster, a block under that top knee as well for a little bit of extra support. Or you can also bend both knees together and that'll make it probably a little bit less intense. Maybe bringing your eye gaze to your right hand here, palm facing up. Direct your breath into your lower back. Slowly back away, coming back to center, extending the right leg, little shift of the pelvis, and then drawing the left knee into the chest. And just like we did on the other side, sending it across the body, opening your left arm out this time, perhaps directing your gaze over to that left hand. And maybe noticing the subtle differences that your body has from one side to the other. No judgment, but just noticing perhaps one side is a lot tighter. It's very normal. We're not symmetrical beings as much as we'd like to be. One more breath here. Slowly coming back into center. Feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees drop into touch, making a TP position here. Feel your belly rise as you inhale. As you exhale, your diaphragm lifts. We're going to make our way up to a seated position now. So coming up any way that feels good. Maybe giving yourself a little bit of extra support using your hands. We're going to come into a mermaid sit here. So we've got one shin parallel with the side of the mat and the other shin parallel with the other side of the mat. If that doesn't work for you for your knees, you can also crisscross your legs or perhaps kneel. So not too fussed how your legs are for this one, just whatever is more comfortable. We're going to come into some side stretches. So we'll plant our left hand down to the ground, reach up through the right arm, and just gently stretching over. Bend through the right arm, gaze up to the ceiling, extend that right arm and stretch. Again, back away a little from this. Don't push yourself quite as hard as you normally would. Just feel that nice deep opening through the whole side of the body. Coming back to center, popping the other hands down, bending through the left arm, straightening through the left arm. Maybe eye gaze to the ceiling. Nice deep stretch. We'll flow a little quicker between those two stretches now. Bringing hands back to center, bending through the right arm, extending that arm, coming back to center. So perhaps using your breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And we'll swap the cross of the legs here or the mermaid setup here, and we'll do that on the other side. So again, we'll pop our right hand down onto the ground, reach up. We'll stay for that longer hold to begin with. So bending the elbow. When you're ready, perhaps eye gaze lifts. Reach out through the fingertips, open that whole left hand seam of the body. Nice stretch here. Slowly coming back through center, left fingertips tap the floor, reach out with the right arm, bend through the elbow, and extend to lengthen a little more through the side body. Flowing a little bit quicker now. Lowering the hand down, bending the elbow, reaching over. Coming back through center. Bending the arm, reaching the arm, back through center, using your breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, Bringing those legs out in front now. We're going to bend into our left leg, extend our right leg straight out in front of us, coming into a Janushasana variation. So we'll twist our body towards that extended leg this time. If you would like to, you can be sitting up on a cushion or your block here, just to elevate through the pelvis. Might feel a little bit more supportive through the back. You can also bend through the knee here. That also tends to be a little bit more supportive. But the idea here is that we want to be stretching out through the side of the body, because a lot of the time our lower back tension isn't actually starting in our lower back. So we'll start by stretching up through our spine here, just creeping your fingertips down over the legs. So you can just relax here, maybe go a little bit further. If you're really flexible here, you can grab onto the outer blade of the right foot. And I do tend to get a little bit more of a twist sensation here, which does feel quite nice through that outer seam of the body here. So yeah, lower back pain a lot of the time can be due to really tight hamstrings. So this will be lengthening through our hamstrings here as well. And it also can be from tight glutes, from weak glutes. There's lots of different reasons. Beautiful work, everyone. One more inhale here, and as you exhale, try and surrender a little bit deeper into your posture. Slowly coming all the way back up here. We're going to bend through the right leg now, and that bent left leg is going to come into a figure 4 position on top of our right leg. So I'll turn this way so you can see a little more. So in that figure 4 position, I like to walk my fingertips a little bit closer to my bottom so I can keep my spine nice and tall here. So we're stretching out our glutes in this one, which, as I said before, can be a cause of sore lower back pain. And we tend to, in yoga, do lots and lots of forward folds. We won't be doing any of those today in this class, as even though that is lengthening through the hamstrings, I also find if you do tend to have a sore lower back, it rounds through the lower back and can actually be pulling on one side or the other. So I find seated forward folds tend to be a little bit better if you've got lower back issues. So staying where you are here, we're just going to drop our knee down and come into Gomukhasana legs. So that top left leg, we bring both knees stack on top of each other here, and then stay tall through the spine. If this doesn't work for you for some reason, you can stay in that figure 4 cross, or you can do this lying down on your back. So both knees stack on top of each other and we hold on to the outer feet. But this is quite a deep glute stretch, as well as through those the side of the legs. It feels quite nice here. If you'd like to, you can surrender forward, but as I said before, it can pull a little on the lower back. So I do like just to stay up nice and tall here. Focus on that breath up and down the spine. Focus on those shoulders lowering down away from the ears. Just a couple more breaths here. See if you can surrender and sink a little deeper. You might like to have a blanket or cushion in between your knees if this is feeling a little bit too intense. Remember to notice your body, how your body is feeling. Release those expectations we might have. And then we will release when you are ready. We'll swap over the cross of the legs here. So we'll go straight into it, this one. Knees stacked on top of each other. Nice and tall through the spine. Again, this side might feel a little bit different. Just notice that. Don't judge yourself, but just notice if perhaps it's a little harder to get those knees on top of each other.
And trying to do it the same way we did on the other side. So if you did it lying down on your back, or if you stayed in a figure 4, just stay in that figure 4 now. That's perfectly fine. Deep breaths here, up and down the spine, shoulders melt. Try and feel that pelvis just become more heavy against the earth. Surrender into the discomfort. Relax your jawline, your forehead. Plant your hands behind you and we'll come into that figure 4 on the other side. So we just lift that foot straight up. So this time we've got our right foot on top of our left knee. Again, if you did on the other side, just walk those fingertips a little closer to your pelvis so that it is a much deeper glute stretch. And also you can stay tall through the spine, nice and long through the neck here as well. Deep breaths here. Just like we did at the beginning of class, maybe directing your breath to the area that feels tension. So in this case, I'm feeling this really deep stretch, mainly through my glute as well as some of the outer right leg. So I'm trying to breathe into that area. It's as if you're internally massaging that area. Just direct that breath. And then use your exhale breath to try and soften and relax. I know that's not always the easiest thing to do, but just focusing on inhaling that breath down, exhaling, just melt a little more. And then we'll come into that Janushasana on the other side. Left leg lengthens, right knee bends this time. Turn the body to face the extended leg, maybe propping yourself up if you did on the other side, perhaps bending through the knee if you did on the other side. And then coming as far as feels comfortable here. You should feel a stretch, but it shouldn't feel painful. Any pain at all, always just back away. Maybe relaxing down, again, grabbing for that outer foot if you can. You'll really feel a lot more through the outer side of the body as it is more of a twist here as well. And I didn't mention on the other side, but you can also be using your strap or your ring or your belt or your scarf over that foot if you'd prefer as well. If you can't reach down, but you do want more of a little twist here. Lots of options. Props are your best friend. Breathing here. One more cycle of breath, and on that exhale, just see if you can surrender a little deeper. Slowly making your way up. Extend the legs out just for a little pitter-patter of the knees, maybe a roll of the shoulders, a little rock side to side. Try and be intuitive here. Then we're going to come over into our all fours position. Our wrists stack under our shoulders, our knees stack under our hips. So we're in a nice tight little square here. Now we do often do cat-cows, most classes I would say, but if you do have a sore lower back, it is a really good idea just to focus on the upper body rather than sinking deep into the pelvis. So we're going to do cat-cows, but they will feel a little bit different here. I want you to try and stay quite strong and neutral through the pelvis here and focus on the heart opening of the upper back, the upper chest. So as you inhale here, thinking of lifting your heart, lifting your sternum forward, opening through the collarbones, and exhale round. But I'm trying to keep my pelvis pretty much exactly where it is here. Lifting the chest to inhale. Exhale to round. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Staying nice and strong through the hands here, spreading the fingers wide. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more cycle here. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, round. And
then keeping our knees stacked under our hips here, we'll just walk our hands forward, coming into Anahata Asana, our melting heart pose. And it can feel nice here to pop your cushion or bolster under the chin or under the forehead, just relaxing here so it's not quite as far. Bringing the heart all the way down, it is going to be a lot more opening, but again, I'm not feeling this through my lower back. It's more opening through the upper area here, the upper chest. But I do encourage you just to listen to your body, see what props you can use to make this feel more accessible to you. See if you can surrender a little deeper and feel that nice heart opening happening. Couple of breaths here. You can be letting your forehead relax down here, maybe a rock side to side, just gently massaging into your third eye. We are going to come into a downward dog, our only downward dog for this class. So we'll tuck our toes, plant our hands, nice wide spread of the fingertips, bend through the knees, and then lift your sit bones up to the ceiling. Keep your knees as bent as feels good here. We're just coming through here to make our way into our next glute stretch, which is our pigeon pose. So our right knee comes into our chest here. Pop your right knee under your right wrist and then extend that left leg back. So a lot of the time we see in classes that we are encouraged to keep that right leg straight parallel with the top of the mat. I'm not one of those teachers that encourages everyone to do that because I feel like everyone has a different pelvis. And I know for me it feels much better to have more of a bend through that top leg. Then we'll extend the back leg back behind us, and it can feel quite nice to have a cushion or a block in front of the hip or under the bottom cheek on that right side. Sitting up nice and tall first here. Again, trying not to crunch into the lower back. So if you're feeling like it's a bit crunchy, come forward a little bit more. And it can feel nice, just a gentle sway through the hips here. You're welcome to stay up here or maybe stretch back a little more if that's what your body is craving today. Otherwise, I encourage you just to gently come forward, perhaps onto forearms. It can feel nice to pop a block just under the head so you can fully relax the neck, surrender down into the pose. Any knee issues, you can pop a blanket in between or behind that bent knee, so underneath the leg. Just let everything relax down. Just a couple more breaths here. Listen to the sounds of nature. You can hear the beautiful birds chirping. Slowly making your way up. We'll do that on the other side. So tuck the back toe, press back, and then we'll bring our left knee behind our left wrist this time. Extend our right leg back. Again, you might have that top leg parallel if that works for your pelvis. Otherwise, a little bit more bent here. We'll lift up through the chest. Notice if this side feels a little different. And if you are tending to roll onto that left bottom cheek, do prop it up with a block, a cushion, anything you've got lying around, a book. And then hold here for a moment, perhaps leaning slightly forward if you're feeling as if it's crunching into your lower back. And then whatever you did on the other side, perhaps coming down onto forearms, resting your forehead down on the ground or on a prop, taking some breaths here. Perhaps a little rock sway through the hips. Breathing your breath into the area you're feeling the most tension. Deep breaths. About 3 or 4 more cycles of breath here. Slowly making your way out when you feel ready. Sitting back onto our left bottom cheek, extending both legs out in front of us. Rather than coming into our Paschimottanasana forward fold here, which I know can be quite pulling through that lower back, we're going to come into our Dandasana position. So that means we're just sitting up nice and tall. Hands can come on top of blocks, or you can perch yourself up on a block or a blanket, a cushion, to make it more comfortable for you. Also an option to bend through the knees if that takes some of the pressure off here. But wherever you are here, I want you to press into the hands, lift through the chest, lengthen all the way up the spine and out the crown of your head. Little lift of the chin. Drawing in your navel towards your spine. And if it feels comfortable here, you can just roll those shoulders just down and back, away from the ears a few times. Maybe back the other way. Beautiful. Then grabbing your ring, your strap or your belt or your scarf, whatever makeshift one you're using. We're going to make our way down onto our backs again. And we'll come into our hamstring stretch here. So this is a really nice way to stretch out our hamstrings without putting that pressure on our lower back or rounding that lower back, as I was talking about in those standing forward folds, which tend to be a big part of class. So grabbing your strap, your ring, whatever you're using, popping it over the edge of your foot. So if you've got a strap, it can give you a bit more space here because you can be holding it down here. But whatever you're using. And then just maybe bending and straightening the leg. Perhaps drawing your foot closer towards your face. If it's a little bit too intense for you, you can always bend up that bottom leg here as well. Makes it a little bit more accessible sometimes. But if you are doing that, I want you to try and focus on keeping the knee straight up to the ceiling. If that leg is extended, again, just planting that heel down into the earth. So rather than this just being a bit of a dead weight, we've got a nice active leg. Keep drawing that leg in, breathing space and relaxation into the whole back of the leg. Maybe closing down the eyes. Just a couple more breaths here. Roll the shoulders down into the earth. Bend through the left knee, release that strap. A little shake out here. Then coming into our half hero position, we'll press down into our left foot. Tuck the right leg under. And I'll do it on this side so you can see what I'm doing. So we've got our heel just next to our bottom here. Quite a strong quadriceps stretch here, which again will help relieve any sore lower back here as well. Often we are quite tight through the quads. So just staying where you are here. Take some deep breaths. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, you can open that left leg out to the side here as well. And it opens up through the groin area as well. It can feel quite nice here. Couple of deep breaths here. Direct that breath down into your quadriceps, maybe into the groin. If that opening leg isn't feeling good through the back, feel free to plant down, staying strong through that left knee, pointing straight up to the ceiling. Last breath here. Then we'll do that hamstring stretch on the other side. To get out of here, I press through my left foot, pick up the right knee, and this time we'll bring the strap over that left leg, perhaps lengthening down through the right, planting the right heel down into the earth or the right foot down, and just casually drawing that leg in towards us. Remember, you can have that knee bent any amount if that feels better for you. Maybe bending and straightening just to feel that juice flowing through the back of the leg. Some deep breaths here, directing your breath into the whole back side of the leg. Trying to relax the shoulders down beneath you, relax through the jawline here as well. One more breath, keep drawing that leg in as close as you can without creating more tension. Slowly release. Bending up through that right leg, this time pressing through the right foot to bring the heel next to our bottom on that left side. If you did on the other side, maybe peeling that right leg open to get in a little more to the groin space as well. But you should feel quite strong through that left quad, so the left front of the leg. Some breaths here, maybe hands come to belly, or one to heart, one to belly. Feel the belly and the chest rise with every inhale breath. Feel everything relax down with every exhale breath. About 3 final cycles of breath here, and then we'll finish today's class with an inversion. Slowly drawing that right knee back up if it was open, press through the foot. Slowly lower all the way down, perhaps a little gentle rock side to side here. And to finish today's class, I encourage you to come into an inversion. I find Viparita Karani a really nice way to end a lower back relaxation class like this. So if you do have a wall handy, I encourage you to get up by the wall, maybe bring a block or a cushion to prop up your bottom. And what we'll be doing is just walking our bottom up against that wall, and legs go straight up to the ceiling, just leaning against that wall. So it is a lot more supportive having the wall against you. You are welcome to do it without one like I am here, maybe flexing the feet. If you prefer a different inversion today and you have a block or a bolster or a cushion handy, just pop that under your pelvis as well here, and you can come into supported bridge. So whatever inversion you're feeling here, maybe close down the eyes, settle in. Knees can be as bent as you like in Viparita Karani. Take some deep breaths here. Send some love down to your spine, to your lower back. I hope your spine, your lower back is feeling nice and relaxed. You're feeling a little bit more like Play-Doh this morning. You're welcome to stay in your inversion as long as you like, or make your way down into Shavasana. Namaste.